in Why Today I Learn English. American Textbook Reading, Social Studies, Grade 4, Lesson 6. Let's get started. Hello everyone, how are you today? My name is Brian Stewart. So today we're going to be learning over Social Studies, Book 4, Lesson 6, American Heritage. In this unit, you discover different ways Americans remember their nations, histories, and some famous American symbols. So let's get started. As always, we'll start with the vocabulary sections. And the first word is an interesting word. It's heritage. What is heritage? This is a little bit of a difficult word, isn't it? Heritage means the important traditions and values that are handed down from one generation to the next. So heritage is something that you get from the parents and their next parents and their parents before them. It's the traditions and value customs and traditional beliefs that are handed down from generations to generations. That is heritage. Okay, our next word here we have is memorial. Memorial. Every nation has statues around their countries to remind the people of important events in the past, right? And also famous people who helped make or shaped the nations that the statue is in. So a memorial is a statue or some stones that is built in the memory of someone or something important. So again, a memorial can be a statue to a famous person, or can just be maybe a stone or a carved stone that remembers an event that happens in the past, like for example, famous battle or some other events that was very important to the nation's history. Okay? Our next word here we have is remind. The next word is remind. Remind is to make someone remember something or someone else, right? If we remind something, then we're reminding some people about what we're doing, right? Well, to remind to make someone else remember some things or someone else, right? Okay? Well, so remind is a vocabulary words, okay? Well, to make someone remember something or someone else, usually they are very important. Okay? Next is an arch. Arch is a curve. It's a structures that have a curved top. Well, just like this, of course, there's very famous restaurants that's almost in every country in the world. That's very famous for its double arches. Do you know what restaurants I mean? I'm sure probably you do, okay? But this is just a single arch, and we're not talking about those, okay? Next, do you know what this is? A banner. Our banner is a flag of a group or a country, right? And we have a banner of our communities, right? Usually, we'll have banners of countries more than communities, right? But maybe in some education places, or maybe in some football teams, right? There'll be their own banner, right? Their own banner to show that that's kind of like a symbol of something, right? Well, that means symbols, okay? Well, banners, a flag or a group of countries. Okay, well, our next word here I have is national anthem, the official song of a country. Okay, well, that can also be, the anthem can also be something that is for maybe basketball teams, right? We also have that kinds of anthems. Anthems can be in any kinds, right? Well, national anthem is the official song of our countries, okay? Well, that's in national anthems, the official songs of our countries, okay? Okay, our next word here I have is Star Spangled. Star Spangles is a spangles. that has been covered or decorated with stars. Well, this part right here is Star Spangled. It has been covered with stars and has been decorated with stars. Now, Star Spangles. What does star represent? There are many, many stars on an American flag. 50. Why are there so many stars? Because each star represents one state in the United States. Okay? And if you know Americans, you may know that there are 15 states in America. So there are 15 stars on the flag. A lot of stars. So when you cover or decorate something with a lot of stars, we say Star Spangled. And that's part of the national anthem of the US. Okay, well, let's look at our chart here. We can see the history of the United States. Okay, first is heritage. Heritage are American celebrate many different holidays. These events are parts of heritage. Heritage are very important. They help us to remember things. Okay, next is memorial. Well, an example of memorial is the Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial reminds us of Abraham Lincoln, of course. Well, there are many, many more kinds of memorials, such as the Washington Memorial or the Freedom Memorial. I don't remember some of that. I don't know. Do you remember? Okay, and the last one is songs. So you can sit more special word. That is national anthem, or maybe just anthem. It is Star Spangled Banner. It's the national anthem of the U.S. Do you want to listen to it? Let me open that song up. Okay, let's listen. Okay, just a little part of the songs, right? Okay, well, let's see. Symbols of the U.S. First is the Liberty Bell. Well, it is the symbols, not just because it was a bell, but because it was very big. It rings when the wars has started, when the wars started, right? And also happens when there's a crash on it, Well, the Liberty Bell is now very famous, also very special. Next is the Statue of Liberty. Yes, that is the Statue of Liberty. Okay? Well, the Statue of Liberty actually wasn't built in the United States. It was built in France. France also have a war like U.S. Well, after France war started, they give the statue to America. They have to take hundreds of boats to move their statues. And then, now when we're looking, people from France coming over to America, the first thing they can see is the Statue of Liberty holding a torch as a symbol of our freedoms and our speeches. Okay, well, the next one is Washington Monument. Washington Monument. Well, I've said before, that's very tall, right? And also it's a building that's just kind of like an arrow coming up and pointing up. That's very tall. Well, that's a Washington Monument. We have this memorial as remembering Washington, as remembering George Washington for giving us his leading, right? He have led us in wars. Well, why didn't we remember him? Yes, that's right. Well, that's why we have those. Okay, well, our next word here I have is bald eagle. Bald eagle is eagle, right? It's not bald. That's that the eagle doesn't have any feathers. No, that means kind of look far, right? Eventually there's a head up on his face, right? The head on is not as brown as his body, right? Well, it just looks like balls, right? Well, people say that's a bald eagle. And the first time, some people say that I don't want that. I want turtle to be or national bird. That's something that's also funny. I think that should be something that's funny too, right? Maybe that's pretty nice, right? Okay, well, let's look at reading. There are many famous memorials in the United States. Perhaps one of the most famous is Lincoln Memorial. This reminds us of Abraham Lincoln, who was the president during the Civil War. Yes, that's right. The Gateway Arch in Missouri is another memorial. This one is dedicated to the first pioneers who moved out west. The most famous song for American is the Star-Spangled Banner. This song was written about the defense of a fort by American soldiers and became the national anthem of the United States. The banner of the United States has a similar name and is called the Stars and Stripes, right? Not the Stars and Spangles, right? Remember it. Okay, well, let's come to blanks. The U.S. history can be seen in the what? Let's look at it right here. And the heritage. Something. Memorial. Let's remember this of Abraham Lincoln. And we have Lincoln Memorial. Next, this is the kid to the first pioneers who moved out west. Then it's that the archers, right? Star-Spangled Banner. It is the national anthems, or maybe if we don't have enough space, just anthems. But national anthem is more clear. Okay, well, I really want to remember it. There are many ways that people can remember it. The United States heritage. Just by heritage, celebrations, memorial, or songs. Okay, well, that's time. See you next time.